When you look at it, I think Asia Wilson is the face of the league. Asia Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now, if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time,
Please tell me, Ryan Clark, what is Angel Reese dealing with? Please tell me, and don't tell me racism.
that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I'd like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racists, he'll be no less Black than me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, My Life Perspective. I'm grateful for you all coming and watching this video today. So, as you've seen in the clip, right, Ryan Clark gives his take on RG3 and the take that RG3 had on Angel Reese. RG3 says that Angel Reese pretty much has a hate, or pretty much hates Caitlin Clark. And when I look at the video and I watch what RG3 said, and I look back at the previous videos, the remarks, the interviews, and the actions of Angel Reese last year, how could anyone argue or disagree with what RG3 is saying? I mean, it's like the old saying goes, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, what is it? You know what I mean? And it's the truth. But in today's society, we live in a world today where if you speak the truth, it's seen as hate speech. And that's where I bring in Ryan Clark, right? I listened to Ryan Clark's take, and just based on the type of person that I've seen him to be on ESPN, I don't know him as a person individually, but he's a race baiter, right? Every conversation or almost every topic that involves, you know, an athlete or between the two, if it's someone white and someone Black, he loves to bring up race, right? Last year we seen it where he talked about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens and said that he felt like Lamar deserved MVP, and he started bringing up race and all different types of nonsense. And honestly, their views ruin ESPN, right? I even stopped watching it because I'm like, dude, not everyone cares about that conversation. The fact that we bring in politics and sports is really shitty and just ruins the take of ESPN in general. So, listening to Ryan Clark and listening to what he said about the fans of Caitlin Clark, she gets a lot of, you know, racial biased fans who tend to support Caitlin Clark based off of, you know, their opinions of being white in America, and so on and so forth. But my thing is, what about the Black fans that support Caitlin Clark? I'm a Black fan myself, and I support Caitlin Clark. And a lot of reasons why I support Caitlin Clark is because of her character, the way she plays the game, and how she carries herself, right? But yet, we won't bring up the racial bias and tendencies that black fans that support Angel Reese have, and how they support Angel Reese and trying to uplift her over Caitlin Clark when we know good and well the competition isn't even there, right? Angel Reese is not even sniffing the room that Caitlin Clark is pretty much laying in right now. But yet, we want to sit around here and play the victim card of racial oppression and why black people, especially black women, are oppressed in this country. So I listened to Ryan Clark and the ignorance that he was spewing out, saying that, oh, you know, Angel Reese pretty much, she has a plight like unlike any other black woman in America. Black women in America have a plight, and you know she deserves to be respected because of it, and so on and so forth. Like, black women's plight in America has anything to do with Angel Reese and how she's supposed to play and perform against her competition on the floor. It seems like we call the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese a rivalry, and then all of a sudden we want to start bringing up racial oppression and all these different tropes that black women deal with, especially when you listen to idiots like Cheryl Swoops and whoever else supports her and talks about Angel Reese and the things that they say, right? Just to make it seem like, oh, we have to get behind and support Angel Reese to make it seem like, she's oppressed and she needs help and we need to be there to support her. And I'll be honest with you, the plight of black women in America, even in recent years, decades, and centuries, have nothing to do with playing the game today. They have more opportunity, they have more rights, liberties, and freedoms compared to recent decades and centuries of past generations of black women. So you can go ahead and miss me with that whole oppression crap, right? But when he started going in and started talking about RG3 and the fact that he's married to a white woman because, oh, he'll never be able to relate to a black woman and their plight, and he doesn't understand it because he doesn't have these conversations with them. Yet, last I checked, black women in America don't give a damn about the plight of black men in America, for one thing. Let's be real about that. Number two, the fact that he's married to a white woman, let me add this caveat in there, right? Whenever you have a conversation, if it's between two men, you keep the families set aside with that. I don't know if Ryan Clark was taught that growing up, but due to his immature antics and his character on ESPN as a race baiter, I wouldn't expect anything higher of him, right? At the end of the day, I listened to what he was saying, and to me, it just seems like this is someone that has a problem with the type of black man that marries out because of the fact that he feels like, oh, well, they uplift white women more than they would do a black woman. And in a general sense, when I listened to what Ryan Clark was saying about how black men uplift white women over black women when they do marry them, or when they marry out, they uplift their women over black women. Like, you have all kind of women in our community saying all kind of nonsense, talking so mad trash about black men. But yet, the argument that Ryan Clark posed, what I don't like that Ryan Clark posed, is a simple fact that he tried to make it seem like RG3 went and just attacked all black women when he simply told the truth about Angel Reese. Angel Reese she is the one that has the problem. She's the one that needs to be held accountable. She's the one that needs to work on herself. I listened to everything, the takes that he gave, talking about how Angel Reese was attacking Caitlin Clark and, the previous year, how she was, clapping for Caitlin Clark getting hurt or, getting tackled to the ground and so on and so forth. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, at what point do we look at Angel Reese and say, no, she's a problem. She has a legitimate envy and a hate for Caitlin Clark because of whatever reasons X, Y, Z there may be. Like, you want to be the rising star in the league, yet you have someone that's at the pinnacle of their game outshining you every time they play you. And then when she steps on the court against other competition, she shines brighter than Angel Reese. But One thing that I look at Ryan Clark, and I listen to guys who pander to black people, especially black women, is that these same people who constantly pander are the same people that are constantly holding a narrative of oppression. We're not oppressed in America as black people. No one that is African American is oppressed. You did not get hung from trees. You did not get beat with chains. This generation of black folks, I don't remember you getting shot and hung and stabbed, murdered, ruthlessly. I don't remember you getting, having all kind of chains and whatnot put on you, and yet you want to scream and cry oppression. Last I checked, you have the same opportunities as someone white. I'm not saying that you don't have racism here and there, but it seems like more or it seems more the less we have that coming from black people, and we're trying to justify it as a way of saying, well, this is us pretty much getting back at white people. As a black man myself, I don't even stand for it. I don't justify black racism in America. So when I see Ryan Clark giving these takes, saying things he's saying on the pivot with Fred Taylor, and sitting back nodding and agreeing, sometimes I sit back and I'm like, I observe the conversation from a perspective of, dude, when are we gonna start making common sense? And actually, take the talking points about sports and make it just strictly about sports. Like, why can't we just leave out race and politics and just strictly focus on sports? Get rid of people like Ryan Clark. Get rid of people like Emmanuel Acho and Joy Taylor who clearly at some points when you hear them talking about the topics that they have on ESPN, they clearly don't know what they're talking about. So when I sit back and I observe the whole conversation, to me, he brought in a whole topic of race and black people and black women, especially black men, and how we're the problem with everything going wrong with black women in America. We're the problem with everything that makes them feel like they're oppressed, and they can never be held accountable for their own actions. Yet, whenever the spotlight is on them, the truth is exposed about who they truly are. So at the end of the day, this is my take. I know that you had a lot of people giving their take on Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and the whole drama and whatnot. Clearly, this is someone that Caitlin Clark made a clean basketball play. She made a clean foul, and Angel Reese got up and started to attack. The fact that RG3 called it out for what it truly was does not make it right for Ryan Clark to say, well, you're married to a white woman, so what do you know about the plight of black women in America? But then again, as I said earlier, why would you expect anything higher than? A lot of people that are pro-black, that claim this black oppression crap, a lot of times when they can't have an intellectually honest conversation, I notice they shoot below the knees and cannot stand without their conversations and talking points of racism and white supremacy and black oppression. Have you ever noticed that? If you've noticed that and you agree, please leave a comment down below. Like, as a black man myself, I get tired of it. Like, if you can't have an intellectually honest conversation about anything, whether that be sports, politics, whatever the case may be, education, sit down and shut up. Like, sit down and shut up. And that's exactly what Ryan Clark needs to do. Alright, so that's all for today's video. I want to thank you guys for watching today. If you disagree and you decide to leave a comment, great. You're only helping the algorithm. And more likely, I don't care to respond. And if you're negative, screw you too. But if you agree and you're going to leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. Take care. And please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Get back to y'all with another video. Oh, and before I head out, always remember, to be informed is not to be woke. Stay conscious, my friends.